Hello. It is Carl and Jose. You are watching Talking Ball. This is the 200th episode on the channel. I didn't want to make a huge deal out of it, but episode 200 of Talking Ball ever. But yeah, Jose, how are you doing, buddy?
Okay, so we were just backstage, right? And you never told me nothing about the 200.
I know. It's not a huge deal, but it's the 200th show. So
of course it's a big deal. 200 shows, that's the way to go. That's a fair way to go. But you never said nothing to me in the back room.
I've been working on it for like 3 years, so I've had, many years to work on that. But yeah, 200th episode. So welcome everyone to episode 200 of Talking Ball. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. And thank you to everybody for making this a thing. Like without you guys watching, it would just be me, some weird redheaded guy talking to himself in his room. So Jose, thank you. Everybody viewing, thank you. But yeah, welcome in, guys. Jose, how is your day going so far, my man?
Yeah, it's all right. Saturday, chill. I didn't watch much of the two games that were on earlier, to be honest. I've seen the result. I haven't seen too much of the games because I've just been chilling today. So yeah,
absolutely.
It's Saturday.
You deserve it, especially after your first week back at work.
Yeah, it's just chilling, and then obviously it was then debating and deciding what time to do a show today, which we've now done. We've plumped for this evening. So yeah, it's all good. I'm looking forward to the show. I'm looking forward to everyone in the chat to see what I've got to say.
Absolutely. Speaking of everyone in the chat, we will just go ahead and say what's up to everybody that's here.
So just to say that you've got Chris Peters says, Colin, you are frozen, but we can hear you. You actually are. You've got your hand on your jaw.
Oh, wow. That's no good. Well, let's see if this fixes it. I'll leave my camera off for just a second. I'll turn it back on. But yes, so thank you, by the way, Chris, for letting me know. I don't want to, at least I wasn't doing something.
Let me say hello to a few people. So Skyrim says, not sure if I'll be around when you start, so I would just leave a simple no to the question and wish you both a great show. So that's expert Scott M. Chris Peters, who plays number 10 tomorrow if Cooley and Matters are out? Chris, I'm going to star that and I'll come back to that. We've got Bobby K here. We've got Adrian here. Good evening, Adrian. You've got Audio Artisan here. Good afternoon, Adrian. Ash P saying hello to hi everyone, plus my two mates, Jose and Colin.
Ash, good to see you.
Samarth is saying 200, what a number. Sweet.
Yeah. Climbing up there, man.
You've got Daniel Sandoval saying big one. Big up to you all, one love, Coys. When I started this, Daniel Sandoval, and that's it. We've caught up with the chat.
Well, that was quite quick. I'm sure we'll be joined by some more people.
We've got more people watching, but not everyone said hello. But to the people that said hello, we have. Oh, here we go. We've got another one saying hello. It's Nita. Hi, Jose and Colin. Hope you well. Jose didn't get my predictions. Nita, yes, I did. Yeah, I did. Although I will say that your predictions, you did provide one of a game that had already finished. So I couldn't put that prediction in. So the Burnley game, I think you gave me a prediction for the Burnley game, but the Burnley game was yesterday. So you gave me your predictions today, so I couldn't include that one in the predictions. But yeah,
happened to me too, Nita. I missed out on 2 games. I sucked. But it happens.
Yeah, I've got quite a few people, interestingly enough, that missed out on. So Colin missed out on 2 games. And so did. So no, you're the only one that missed out on 2 games.
Oh, shit.
Apart from that, Tot Spurs missed 1 game. Kate and Jim both missed a game. Tottenham Mum missed a game, and Nita I missed a game. Everybody else, I got their predictions in. You got Lee Smithy Smith saying hello to us. Hi, Lee.
Yeah, bro.
We also got red wine hangover.
I get it. That'll do it.
Whilst we've got Mr. Smith here, Mr. Smith is leading the way so far after 3 games. Mr. Smith has 2 correct green predictions. Mr. Smith predicted both Burnley Luton 1-1, and he predicted 3-2 to Manchester City.
Sheesh! Nice job, Smithy. Give
So
yourself a round of applause, mate. That's crazy.
He's got 2 greens, so far after 3 games, he would be leading the way. I've got a few people. Yeah. I've got some people on 4s where they've got 1 green and 1 orange, but he's the only one with 2 greens. So well done, Smithy. You are definitely leading after 3 games.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he'll be challenging for that top spot soon.
David, good evening. David says, I just had to mention, disgusting the commentary City fans who put banners up on the bridges on the M69 depicting the helicopter crash which killed the Leicester City owner. They disgust me as I live in Leicester. Yeah, that's not very good. That's not very good.
No.
That's not very good. But right, seeing that we've got 17 in the house at the moment, shall we start? What have you got for us first today, Colin? Tell me.
Well, we've got a couple of things. Just some recent news that has kind of cropped up. Some things that I've been hearing recently, at least. First one is that this here, Mr. Levy. There was a quote put out on Twitter, on X or Twit as you would call it, where it says that Levy finally believes that finally after Poch, how did they word it? Finally after Poch.
Yeah, I can read it out. It's come from Matt Law, and Spurs Connect put it out, and they put it out about 25 minutes before we come on, and it says Daniel Levy has told associates that for the first time since Mauricio Pochettino, he believes he has a coach in Postecoglou who has the right professional and personal qualities to succeed at Tottenham.
That's a beautiful thing.
And that was posted 25 minutes ago.
I can't say anything bad about that. I mean, I fully agree with Daniel here. He's got many of the qualities that Pochettino had, but he seems like he might be more mentally tough than Pochettino. I know that sounds kind of funny, but it seems like that Champions League final kind of broke him. And I don't think the same thing would happen to Postecoglou, but they do have a lot of similar characteristics. They both, aren't the types of managers that demand like ready-made players, which I think is a big deal to Levy and co. We just came off of Mourinho and Conte, who needed players that, even if we'd only get one good year out of them, they had to be ready. They had to be a certain profile of player, whereas I feel like both Pochettino and Postecoglou are cool with going for lesser-known names that they know will fit their, that they know will fit their profile and what they're looking for. And from a media perspective, I don't think we could possibly have anybody better to represent our club. I think we actually touched on this the other day, but remember how we used to have to kind of almost be nervous about what our managers were going to say in press conferences?
I'll say not just our managers, Colin. I would say that goes with the majority of managers. I think clubs are wary of what they're going to say. It's not just our manager. Sorry, can I just say you're frozen again, Colin? And someone's saying you're frozen, but we can hear you.
Well, dang, I might just have to do this for a while until I get that fixed up.
Have you paid the bill?
Yeah, I have.
Have you put the coins into the coin slot?
In the meter. Yeah, meter's running. I don't know what the deal is. But sorry about that. But yes, and Jose, it seems like you agree too. Postecoglou is that guy. He is him.
Well, yeah, like I said before, and I've said it so many times now, and I can repeat and repeat and repeat. And I said that Postecoglou is a dream. We found a jewel or a gem, whatever you want to say, and he's a dream. And as I said before, many a time on many streams, and I've said this for a long time now, that he's united the club, whereby he's not only united the team on the pitch. There's a philosophy. There's a theory behind how we play and why we play that way. All the players are brought into it. You can see the unity with the team and the players that are in the team and the players from the bench. The players that are out injured that come to watch the games, you can see the unity there as well. So the team's all united. Then I kept going on about from the groundsman to the chef to the people that work, to the cleaner, to the tea lady, to the people working in the offices. He's united absolutely everyone there. And then I said, for Levy and the board, he must be an absolute dream because, he's going to go out there and they don't have to be fearful of anything he's going to say. He is himself, and I think that over the years, obviously he's been in the game for quite a while. And I say in excess of 25 years as a manager, in excess of 25 years as a manager or whatever, been in the game for a long time, and therefore he's media savvy, so to speak, as well. So they've got nothing to worry about. So these comments coming out from Levy now are something. It's nice to hear, or nice to read, should I say, but it's something that all the Spurs fan base already know anyway.
Very true. Very true. We could all tell from day one that he just had an air about him. I don't know. There's something about him that excites me, and you can tell it excites the players also.
If you're gonna freeze just, on a good pose.
I'm just trying to get it to freeze there, but no. From the minute he walked in the door, I don't know whether to leave that on or off, to be fair. But from the minute he walked through the door, there was a feeling. Something changed. I mean, it was a quick change too, and we have all these players, Madison, Vicario, just talking about how much they wanted to play for him, about how he changed their minds. I don't think that I don't know if James Madison comes to Spurs if we don't have Postecoglou as manager. If we're playing under Conte, I don't think James Madison comes. Well, first of all, I don't think Conte would have wanted him, but I don't think I don't think he would have come to Spurs to play under Conte. And long may this continue. I see there's some new comments in here, and I don't want to skip any. But Chris Peters said, "But will Ange stay around a long time?" And that's the big question, I think. We've given him a 4-year contract, but we haven't had a manager see out their contract, or, their initial contract in a really long time. Yeah, I mean, do you see him staying around long term? As long as he keeps getting backed, as long as he keeps winning things, or do you see him as a guy who hasn't quite hit his heights he thinks he can hit, and he's still, I don't want to say using us like Dragusin, and I don't want to say Dragusin is using us exactly, but you know what I mean? Do you think that he still sees himself on the ascendancy, or do you think that he would be good to? It's a hard question to answer. Let
me take you back a step. Right?
Is he still climbing higher? Is he aiming for like a Madrid, Barcelona type job?
Let me take you back a step, Colin. Dragusin's not using us, all right? That was all his agent, all right? And I have a theory about his agent. I think his agent is rather I think his agent hasn't been doing it for long. I think his agent's very naive, and the agent wanted to have a lot of airtime, a lot more airtime than the footballer, than his player wanted to have. And I've got a feeling maybe later on down the line, once he's settled Dragusin and that someone within the club or some of the players may have a word with him and say, right, we're represented by CAA, because a lot of the players in Tottenham are represented by CAA, and say, come and jump on board with us. Because then you don't hear this. Listen, when you sign a player, the last thing you need is to hear an agent saying, yeah, but he's priming himself for, he wants to be in Real Madrid or Barcelona in 3 years. The players never said that. It was his agent. And his agent needs to pipe down. And as I said, I've got a feeling that maybe his agent, he may change agents now that he's joined Tottenham and had a word with some of the other chaps.
Yeah, I hope you're right. And I think that the players, you're right, will tell him, hey, it's a bad look. You don't want that. We don't want that. Yeah. So good point. Shanada, though, what's up?
But will Ange stay a long time, Chris? In answer to your question, I believe that Ange will stay. Ange has signed a 4-year contract. He's a man of his word. He stayed at Celtic until his contract ran out. He's a man of his word. I think he's being all end all was to get to the Premiership. He's done that now. He's got a team and he wants to build that team. I can't see him leaving anytime soon. So, in answer to your question, I think Postecoglou stays, and Postecoglou, by the time he does, if he does leave Tottenham, by the time that happens, he would have been revered by the whole fan base, is my belief.
I'm getting chills just thinking about that. I'm not even joking. But Shanada, what is up?
Yeah, he's saying that your screen's frozen, but he can still hear you though. Your mum's in saying big up.
Big up, ma.
Your mum's also saying internet or camera issues.
Internet issues.
Right, but then she says that when all else fails, unplug and replug the camera.
I thought about doing that with the internet, but I didn't want to. I would have to then disappear for a while. It's okay. It's okay.
But you can disappear if you want. I'm still here at the show, so I'm still saying hello to people.
That's true.
As long as you come back, that's fine. Don't run away too far.
Let's try this one more time. If I freeze again, I'll restart it.
Audio saying, I wonder if Ange got told off for that nonce answer he gave at the press alone. He ain't going to get told off for nothing.
I doubt it too.
And we've got Stakes in the house. Alexander Hilton, not seen you for a bit, mate. I hope everything's well. And he's also saying, I think Dragassin's agent is an idiot. I think we both think that. Sonata saying, hi, Colin and Jose. I forgot to say hi in my first comment. And Tottenham Mum says, Dragassin is known for his integrity, evidently. I don't think he's using us any more than anyone building a career. You take steps and are on a trajectory, but he'll put in a shift and do his best. That's absolutely correct. And I've got Liam Harty here saying, say good evening to Liam Harty. Hi, Liam Harty. How are you? Hope good everything's evening, well, buddy. Mate. We've been linked with Gomez as a quality midfielder. Yeah, we've been linked with him. And then we've also got David Clark saying, I heard Kulu is ill and may miss the game on Sunday. Have you heard anything? Right. So for tomorrow's game, they're saying that he's not well and that he was going to be assessed. They said he wasn't well yesterday. So the word was coming out yesterday he wasn't well. No one said what was wrong with him. No one said what's wrong with him, but he was being assessed today. So I'm hoping that it's another one of those that gets the opposition thinking rather than actually being bad. And I hope he's playing. Is my answer.
Yeah, wouldn't he have to be very sick? I mean, I guess you could have some kind of a virus or like a bug that would last a couple of days. But yeah, I hope, again, you're right, that it was just something very small and that it's to put some doubt into the opposition, their plans. I think that's more likely, but again, what do I know? If people get sick, this is that time of year,
Alex Hilton's saying, how long is Dragassin's contract? It's 5.5 years with an option for a further year. So basically 2030 and then an option for a further year. I can only see the option for a further year being used if he's not playing so well in 5.5 years' time. Sorry, if he's just about doing scraping for the next 5.5 years. I've got a feeling, because Dragassin's 21, that by next season or the season after, they will do the same as what they did with Sarr and Udogie and people like that, and just give them new deals because they've made their worth. Because at the moment, reportedly from the comments that are coming out, he's on 3 million euros a year, which is about 50 grand a week. And if that's the case, then we want him to be on a lot more money. He will want to be on more money. So if he plays, he improves and he shines and makes himself better and the team better, he'll get rewarded the same as Sarr and Udogie and others.
And I mean, if his previous play is anything to go by, it won't take him long to be getting that, that improved contract.
So Alex Hilton was saying it's a third-tier source with Kulu being out.
Sweet.
I just saw it being posted everywhere yesterday on chat groups and on Twitter. Gingivitis is what he says Kulu's got.
That's what I've got too. I'm sharing it.
Tottenham Mum is laughing at the gingivitis comment from David Clark. And we have Senor Kaufman. Good evening,
Ben!
Boy. We're battering United tomorrow. Good evening, Ben. I hope all is well. And then you've got Tottenham Mum saying, right. Colin, have you been speaking to your mum before the show?
Not a bit. Okay. I didn't tell her a single thing about this. She's paying a lot of attention today.
So therefore, we have got things to talk about, and this will be one of them. We will come and touch on this.
Yep, absolutely.
But with the Postecoglou comment, I think we've done the Postecoglou comment now. It's nothing that surprises us, you and I. I don't think it should surprise the fan base. Postecoglou's united the club, and I have no doubts that the board are in love having Postecoglou here.
Absolutely. And so everybody, I'm sure, has seen, for one, the funny, I think, hilarious thumbnail of Postecoglou sleeping in the stadium, dreaming of that Premier League trophy. and I wanted to pose the question to everybody else. So Postecoglou was asked at a press conference, at our most recent press conference, whether or not we still have a chance of winning the league, whether the league is still on. And he answered basically, I mean, with a pretty diplomatic answer, but, as long as it's mathematically possible, yes, we're still in it. Any team that's playing is playing to win, is playing to achieve things. And what more is there to achieve than winning the league? So he said it's still very much in our, from what I could gather, it's still very much in our, in our minds, in our hearts. We're still fighting for it. We haven't given up. It's still mathematically possible. And until it's not, we're still fighting for the title. So Postecoglou still believes, and we should too, I think. As Jose always says, if we're going to get behind this guy, we can't just get behind him part of the time or whenever it suits us. We've got to get behind him all the time. And do I think that he thinks we're going to win the trophy? No, probably. Maybe you do. You think so?
Postecoglou is a born winner. Postecoglou doesn't come in to do things half-hearted. Because Postecoglou, for me, has a belief, and his belief is that Tottenham will win things. That's his belief, and he's always maintained from day one that he's not here to build and do something just for the now. He wants it to build something, so therefore we are in the mix for everything every year, and that's what he said. Now, what I will go and say about this is just for the people that may not understand, when they do pressers with the Premier League managers prior to games, the presser is one. In the press room, you're going to have local press, and then you're going to have the national press. The local press is all mic'd up. So the local press, they've got mics. They ask the questions, and after asking the questions, Postecoglou will answer. You normally start with this. Normally, Sky Sports will start the question off. They ask about an update on the injuries and an update on the squad available for the game. You then go through the presser. The presser normally it can last anything up to about 20 minutes, 25 minutes maximum if you've got a lot to say. But usually they're done and wrapped up within 20 minutes. At that stage, the communications team at Tottenham will say, right, that's enough of the questions. They'll say that's enough of the questions. That's all the questions that have been asked. And now, then they switch the microphones off and they go into the embargoed section. In the embargoed sections, the questions are then asked just by the national press. But you cannot air any of this until 10:30 in the evening GMT. Bearing in mind that a presser takes place on or around between midday and 1:30. So they embargo it. So when we hear things about the presser that's released, it's about the presser that's happened at 12 to 1:30. But the embargo part, they can't release till after 10:30 in the evening because they're for the broadsheets. So therefore, it only got released late last night, and that's why these comments are coming out now. So Postecoglou was asked in a roundabout way. He was asked, "Are Tottenham in the title race?" Is what he was asked. You can faintly hear it. It depends what kind of TV you got, and you can faintly hear that he's been asked a question. So he asked the reporter, "In what context?" The reporter says something back to him. He says, and then he turns around and says to the reporter, "Well, we're 6 points off. We enter competitions to partake in them. So therefore, you'd be foolish not to think you can't win it, because then you won't bother entering. But from the situation that we're in at the moment now, of course, until we're mathematically unable to do so, yes, I think we can win the league title." And to be honest, that is absolute music to everybody's ears.
100%. I feel like his confidence is only going to trickle down too through the squad, the fans, and I mean we're all part of one kind of. This sounds really stupid, but Postecoglou, the fans, the players, we're all part of one kind of like unit, one big living, breathing organism. And when we're in the stadium, when there's fans in that stadium and they all believe and they're all behind the team, it lifts everybody and lifts the players. I don't know. I think that Postecoglou's done a great job at lifting everybody. We see our players play with so much more confidence than it looks like they had last year. Like whenever we would play under Conte and players would know if they made a mistake, they were out. They weren't playing the next week. Whereas here, Postecoglou has literally said, go out there and make mistakes. Like, it's me. I'm the one telling you to go do it. I'll take the blame if this doesn't come off. It's me. And it's just a very nice breath of fresh air compared to Mourinho, saying, oh, there's a problem at this club. Mourinho and Conte both saying, oh, it's a problem with the club and the players. And, oh, they haven't won anything in 20 whatever years. Ask them what the problem is. It's not on me. Whereas Postecoglou seems to have flipped that entire thing and said, it's all on me. I'm the guy. And I love it. And I think the players now can play with more freedom and more expression. And that's the football that, as Tottenham fans, we've all become accustomed to. Or it's the reason why I feel like most of us follow Tottenham in the first place, is the expansive front foot attacking football that we finally have back. So, yeah, big love to Ange.
It's also interesting that in the same breath, when he was being asked the questions by the national press, he also turned around and said that he was asked about, are you surprised, blah, 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 about how you're getting on and how your team's been doing and stuff like that. And he turned around and he said, look, I'm not surprised, but there are some things that we're doing really well, that they've taken on board, that they're doing really well. And I've got to be pleased with that. He goes, but also, by the same token, there are things that we're at our infancy. We're only just started doing certain things that he wants us to do. And it's frightening. I mean, it's got to be frightening that for us it's brilliant. For Tottenham Hotspur, for the team, for the supporters, for everyone associated with Tottenham, it's absolutely brilliant. That we know that his plan, he's saying there's a lot still to go on that he wants to happen. So it's absolutely brilliant. We're going to have, if it goes the way, and I have no reason to doubt him, the way that he puts his plans and building blocks in place, we have got so much to come and so much to be proud and so much to be pleased about. So, yeah, I'm so much looking forward to it. But, yeah, if people want to catch it, there are channels like We Are Tottenham TV and Chris Cowling. They normally do the snippets of the pressers. And Chris Cowling definitely does the embargo, because that's where I went and watched it last night. So if people wanted to understand more what goes on, the embargo sections are there for people to find. Just a bit of name drop in there.
Exactly. Love it. Big up to everybody who does the work to put those out too. I mean, yeah. I would never get to hear any of that stuff if it wasn't for guys like that. So thank you personally from me. I appreciate it.
So David Clark saying, I have no proof about this, as he did say that he wants to stay here even after retirement. But I have a gut feeling that Ramiro will get offered and that he can't refuse. So Dragusin is a great buy. Tottenham mum says watching Collins like watching a badly dubbed Japanese movie.
I love it.
Well, Colin is into manga and that, so there is an association there, isn't there?
Yeah, maybe I'm doing it on purpose. We'll say, wink.
Ashley said that she smashed the light on both the streams, be like her. Alex is saying, Stake saying, when we beat City, we will win the FA Cup. Dry Roasted Peanut saying there's no loser mentality in Ange.
Big up, yes.
Postecoglou is the alpha male of our species. There's a lot of helloing going on there. Dry Roasted Peanut says, what a break done, Jose. I think he means that the way I explained it all. Here we go. Ellie's in the house. Good evening, Ellie. You know that Got to Be There song by Michael Jackson. Well, here I am.
Boom.
And then you've got people saying hello to each other, but Leo's here.
Leo, what up, my homie?
Hey, Leo. Liam is saying, why not? I think that's when we're talking about Postecoglou and him saying that we could win the league.
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to come back. I'm going to star Chris Peters' question. We've got Ellie saying, shame Newcastle lost. Man City putting them under the cosh and deserve to win though.
That was a back and forth game from what I hear. Like, again, I didn't watch it at all, but I heard it was pretty end to end. So
Meter's coming in saying, and Ange is not kidding around. He is a manager who's focused, knows where he is going and what he wants to bring to our club. Not even Levy can fool him. And then Tottenham mum saying Ange has nearly a completely different squad too. Lots of turnover in the past 2 seasons. He's definitely putting his mark on the squad. If we're clicking this good now, the future is very bright. Exactly. And then everyone's saying hello to each other, so I'm going to bypass the hellos to Ellie says Newcastle defended like Trojans, but City's class paid off in the end, and Bob bobbed the ball in. And then I'm not quite sure, but Daniel Sandoval is calling me loco, mad, and praying. This is fine.
Well,
this is fine.
Yeah. Hey, we've all been called loco a time or two in here, probably.
And then you've got Leo's coming with ese loco, el patron, ese loco.
Is that just us saying that the league is still on, maybe? Or I wonder where. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. But they're all talking amongst each other, which is good. It's good. The community talks amongst each other.
Always love it. Always love it.
We didn't say it at the start of the show, so I'm going to say it now. For those that want to, you're not forced to, but if anyone wants to, we have pinned the membership link onto the chat. And then we've got David Clark is saying, Ange is the best tactically minded coach at Spurs since Terry Venables. I'm not going to disagree with that statement. Ash, we need Madders fit by City to stand a chance against City.
I know Ash just watched that match in its entirety too, so she'll know and she'll have seen how strong City looked today.
And Leo's telling us we just say that's what's up to each other like that. So it's like, loco, ese loco, loco.
I love it.
¿Qué pasa, loco? Sorry. I'll go back to English. My Spanish sounds bad.
No, it's good. It's good. I love it. I love how multilingual and multinational our show is becoming. So that makes me happy. And we've begun affectionately referring to the memberships as being part of La Familia.
La Familia.
La Familia. So come join the family, everybody. If you're here, you're already family. No membership required. But yeah, absolutely. Big love to everybody. Jose, I had an idea. We've got other talking points. But we have two Keeper West Hams today. Did you want to do them both back to back, or did you want to do a Keeper West Ham and then go back into some news and then Keeper West Ham?
I reckon. I think we should just do the one for now.
Okay. Yeah.
So just do the one, and then we can do the next one after that. I suppose.
Sounds great.
No point doing back to back. Just to keep. Let's do one at a time.
All right.
And then what I'll do is I'm going to start a couple of these questions, and then there's only one question. I've started one question, and we can come back to the question after we've done the first Keeper West Ham.
Perfect. All right, everybody. Let me get the banner going here. We're playing actually keep, bench, sell, but everyone probably knows that by now. And away we go. Everybody, you know what time it is. It is Keep or West Ham, the internet's favorite Tottenham game show. Everybody, please, before you get angry with me for some of these options, please know that my co-host, Jose, was the one that picked them out. Just kind of keeping myself out of trouble here. This was you, buddy.
Okay, I need to see which one. I need to see which ones I did, so I can. Is that the one you're doing first? Okay, because I couldn't remember the other one that I did. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, so you wanna tell everybody?
What I've done is I've gone for 3 different generations. So yeah, I've gone for 3 different. I've gone for one for the 90s, one with the 80s, 90s, one with the 2000s, and one with the 2010s. So we've got the earliest one is Chris Waddle, who's in the middle.
Shown in the middle there.
The next notable winger that came after that was David Ginola, and then the next great winger that came after him was Gareth Bale. So I thought I'd throw these 3 wide boys into the mix for tonight and see what people think.
Boom. Yeah, absolutely. I'll throw them back up in a second, but that is the first bunch of players for Keeper West Ham today. And remember, of course, you can't not play if you're gonna say keep them all. might as well not even comment it.
I'm getting throwing Jose under the bus from Tottenham, man.
Yes.
And Senor Kaufman is saying that's impossible.
It's not easy.
But
it's not an easy one.
People have started. You've got Tottenham. I'm saying should keep Bale, should bench Ginola, sell Waddle, and by the way, David is so handsome.
Yeah, I've heard all the ladies saying that. Our own Miss Ellie says that all the time about how beautiful of a man he is.
Chris Peters has gone down the same route. He says keep Bale, bench Ginola, sell Waddle. Dry roasted peanut is only saying at the moment. I never saw Waddle, but keep Bale for sure.
Yeah,
so it's kind of dry roasted peanut. You kind of got to keep one. You got to bench the other, and you got to send the other one to West Ham or sell him to West Ham.
Sounds like Waddle's going to West Ham for dry roast peanut.
Yeah, but he hasn't told us what he's doing with the other two. So Ellie's come in with should keep Bale, should bench Ginola, and Waddle to West Ham. Poor Waddle's getting a real tough deal here. Senor Kaufman has gone keep Bale, bench Ginola, and sell Waddle. Another one that wants to sell Waddle.
Dang.
And then Alex Hilton saying keep Bale, bench Ginola, sell Waddle. Ooh.
Was Waddle? So was he as flashy of a player as the other two? I know that he was effective and he was a good player, but I just don't know enough about his play style.
Keep Ginola, bench Bale, and sell Waddle.
Ooh, that's a different one. Nice, David.
Judy C was saying David
Ginola
still fire.
Oh man, love it.
And you've got. I'm out of here. It's a note from keep. She wants to keep all three. Nita.
Oh, Nita.
Good evening, Boris Britt. Not seen you in a while. He's keeping Ginola, benching Bale, and selling Waddle.
I don't think a single person has kept Waddle yet, Jose.
Ginola, if it was on looks, he wins all day long.
he's a manly man. Just look at him there. Yeah, he's a manly man.
Ash is keeping Bale. She's benching Ginola, Waddle to West Ham, and Jose's a cruel man. She must be referring to Mourinho. Ben is saying Waddle was a tandem with Hoddle.
Okay.
Daniel Sandoval is saying keep Ginola, bench Bale, sell Waddle. And Dry Roasted Peanut says, I'm guessing a lot in the chat never saw Waddle.
I include me in that as well, Dry Roasted Peanut.
Alex Hilton, Bale was one of the best players of his generation. Ginola carried Spurs in the 2000s, and he never watched Waddle. Ben saying Bale is the only player on that list that could win games at will, world class.
Man, we did get bailed out by him so many times.
Boris Britt saying, well, Ginola is one of the world's best ever left wingers and one of France's best ever players. And Smithy's come in with he'd keep Bale, bench Ginola, Waddle to West Ham.
See? Bye, Chris. Sorry, Chris. But it does not seem like you're going to be with the squad much longer. Just another very talented player to add to West Ham. I guess we haven't heard mine yet, but I'm gonna go just the same as everybody else. Unfortunately, got to go with keeping Bale, benching David Ginola, and Waddle to West Ham. Unfortunately, it's a bummer. That's a bummer. But I will make it my homework today to go watch a bunch of Chris Waddle goals and assists and stuff, and then tell you guys how stupid I feel on the next show. I'll be like, no, guys, really, he's awesome. So no, that is my fault for having that.
David Clark saying this is not a reflection on Waddle because he was a great talent, but when you have three great players, someone has to come third.
Yeah. Good point.
And Nita saying Ginola is fine, a fine man. Met him and his family. No airs of graces, and so funny too.
That's great. I love hearing stuff like that about players that are, quite talented, kind of a big deal, because you hear stories about players having really big egos and being rude. So anytime I hear about somebody being nice, I love that. Good stuff.
Right. So what I'm going to do, let's jump in. There's a question that I starred. I'm sure I had the queue in front of me. Right. Okay. So he had a queue. So Chris Peters is saying, has Ange got to where he wants to be in 6 months, or do you see where we need to better players in certain positions? Another top striker like Sonny, I think. Right. Do you want to take it first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first if you don't mind.
Far away.
So I think that we definitely need better players in certain positions, and Ange knows that. But I do think that he has been able to like squeeze a little bit more out of some certain players, you know, that we've got, especially in this injury crisis. He's been able to squeeze some talent out of some players we weren't really sure had a whole lot left to give or a whole lot left to offer Spurs. I'm looking at Højbjerg. I'm looking at the crazy center back pairings we've had recently, but no, he definitely needs better players in certain areas, even if not first team players. Well, okay, I would like to have, and I'm sure he would too, a first team quality level player in every position, like, and a backup that's first team quality. And we definitely don't have that, as evidenced by the fact that we've had, wide, like our fullbacks playing center back. We've had all kinds of weird permutations of a defensive lineup. So I think that he'll definitely want some more players, but I think at the rate that we're grabbing them, one or two quality players a window, it looks like it shouldn't be, but one or two more windows before we're where he wants to be, I think. But no, I'm sure that he would have liked to have had better players. I mean, you lose Romero and then you put in Emerson Royale to cover him. I mean, it's not ideal, and he knows that, and we know that. So I think that we'll definitely need more players. I think that he might, and I don't know if he wants one of these, but I'm just kind of surprised that we haven't gone for like an out-and-out striker, like an actual number 9 type striker, like not somebody who can play out wide and in the middle, not somebody who's, but for an actual striker. I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't gone for one, but yeah, I also didn't watch him at Celtic. Did he play with an out-and-out striker at Celtic?
No, he played the system that he plays, and people will keep repeating this over and over again. The system that he plays, the number 9 is a sacrificial lamb, for a better word. That number 9, or the person who's playing down the middle, has to do all the running, all the closing down, all the pressing, does all the leg work, the donkey work, whatever you want to call it. The only thing is that with Kyogo, he did all that, but he also was able to, with the way that they played, they didn't put crosses up in the air. They didn't load the ball up. They played everything along the floor. So he had players that would go past, I won't call them out and out wingers, but he had players that could go past, go on the outside. They'd put the ball in nice and low, most of them to 6-yard box, maybe 8 yards out. And Kyogo would be at the end of them, beating the defender to it and scoring goals. It's the same as when Porro got beyond their left back for Liverpool, put the ball in, and it was the own goal that got us the winning goal. That's the kind of play that they would do. They'd get beyond, put the ball in, and someone would score. The same goal that Johnson the other day, when he got passed down the wing, put the ball along the deck, and Richarlison scored through Pickford's legs. They're the kind of ways that Celtic played. So it's always with a sacrificial lamb, and the person has to run about everywhere. So he hasn't got a traditional out-and-out number 9 and the number 9 does what a number 9 used to do. So no, he hasn't got that. But for me, answering the question on this, it is, I think Ange maintains this all the time. So I can only go and he sees football from his own eyes. He says that was all the time. But with Ange, he knows where he would have thought he would be with the squad he had and with who he's got in and who he's made better. At the start of the season, he would have had a thought process in his mind. And I don't know whether he actually thought that we were going to be this far up, or whether he thinks that we're further ahead. He's never going to give it away. He'd be foolish to give it away, to say what his thoughts are wholeheartedly, But for me, listen, we're all Tottenham supporters, and those that come onto our channels that are fans of other clubs, they all can see from their eyes as well. He's done so well, and so have the team. If we look at it for what it is, and so have the team, with all the injuries and suspensions we've had, we have coped admirably with all that. No one else has had. There are other teams that have had suspensions or injuries, but to so many key players, key components to your team, I don't think so. Maddison, key component. Lolo, key component. for me.
Yeah.
Van der Ven, key component. Romero, key component. So, you're talking about 4 players down the spine of the team there that are key components that have been, they've been out through injury. Now, then when you start looking at suspensions as well, and the doggy's a key component in what he does when he comes in and he inverts and stuff. Listen, we've been hit with so much. We've lost an out ball in Perisic and Solomon, although we're hoping Solomon will be back this month. The list goes on and on, to the amount of key players that we've lost. So therefore, I think Ange and the team deserve a lot of credit and a lot of praise. And as I said, it's not only the Tottenham fan base. I think it's even our opponents are all saying it now. They all want to watch Tottenham. So, what a better endorsement can we get other than our opponents saying they'd like to watch us play as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the type of football that everybody can get excited for. It's definitely not a boring watch. And that's one thing, how quickly he was able to switch us from that boring backs to the wall, defend for your life football to this front foot attacking. It's really the fact that he's been able to change the mentality of the players in such a short amount of time is awesome to me as well. So yeah, I definitely think he'll want more players. I definitely think he'll want backup in certain positions. But I'm sure he's very happy with where he is in these first 6 months, Chris, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, I would think that he'd be very, very happy. Very happy.
Right, so Ben's coming in with Ginola would have been even better without the smoking. Ben, I agree with you, but what I'd say is, would Waddle have been a better player still, right? Even better, had he had the dietary programs that are around now, because back then they used to have greasy burgers, fry-ups for breakfast. They used to have anything and anything they wanted because nutrition wasn't a thing back then. And after the game, people would go down to the bar and have a few beers, go on to clubs and stuff like that. So I'm going to take it even back further and say that Waddle possibly could have been even better if the nutritionists are around and things are a bit happening nowadays. I think Waddle could have also been even better. Tottenham Mum says Ange will be disappointed with all the injuries.
Sure.
Ellie's saying that, she's talking about David Ginola. Yes, poor thing suffered a heart attack too. Liam came in with his one. Ginola is a favourite player, so keep him. Sell Bale and bench Waddle. He went and there's someone that didn't send Waddle. He's actually sending Bale and benching Waddle.
Crazy. That's one we haven't seen.
Tottenham Mum's also saying no one could have ever predicted, nor Ange, how many players would have been hurt so quickly.
For sure.
Alex Hilton saying sell all at 2 billion each. West Ham go bankrupt and Spurs get the players back.
There you go. Alex is a workaround. Alex with the workaround. I like it, Alex. Nice thought there. Nice rule bending. But
Sorry,
it's a good one. That was a good one.
While I get to bring up, I'll do the chat. Can you just bring up the slide of the keep bench and sell we just done? Because Talking Beer is just saying keep house. I don't know whether he knows who the other players were.
Yeah.
So there you go, Talking Beer. Nice to have you. I'm going to get to your comment in a minute, but they're the two. They're the one today. It's Chris Waddle, followed by David Ginola, and then Gareth Bale. All wingers at Tottenham in different generations. Keep bench and sell, mate. David Clark, the 4-3 defeat at Milan was truly one of the best performances from a Spurs player ever, and that was Bale's hat-trick, correct?
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Ellie is Waddle was brilliant too, but Ginola was just that bit extra spice. Julie saying, I believe Ange has to feel we are overachieving given the circumstances. As I said, I don't think, Julie, that he's ever going to say what he thought and what he didn't think at the start of the season. But to me, as we said in many other shows, the mortar's been laid, the foundations have been laid by bringing Ange in. And then after bringing Ange in, the mortar's being lined up, and we're starting to piece the bricks. So we're building the house upwards like you do. The foundations have now been set because he's the one we brought in, and now the bricks are going in place. and we're building that house. And Ange is instrumental in all this, because Ange is the foundation, and he's the one that's holding the whole house up. Ben saying Ange wants a mobile striker, not a traditional number 9. So this is going back to the comment that was made earlier for Chris's question. And he says Ange quietly going about his job, but he is ambitious and will want a repeat of our form at the start of the season to push on and make concerted challenge to take that league title. Yeah. I've starred Nita's question, which we'll come back to. Julie says Ange is doing brilliantly, bringing some average players and squeezing out all the quality they have inside. The players much love him to give him so much for him. At least they love the system. Talking Beer saying big up to us both.
Yeah, Talking Beer, big up, brother.
Alex Hilton is saying he's physical. Ricky Vila TV. Now that's a name. Bonjour, Colin. It's been a while.
Been quite a while, my man. Hope life is treating you well. Wow, I haven't seen your name in ages, dude. Hope life is good. Hope the family's good.
Talking Beer, did you hear about all the FPP crackdowns? I will start that because we can come back and talk about that.
Boom.
And more daunting to defenders to have the ball. Yeah. Sorry, I missed him. David Clark says they were called liquid lunches back in the day. And Ben, back in the day, full English before the game. That should be reintroduced.
There you go.
So Talking Beer was keeping Bale. But I don't know whether he's answered who he's keeping and who he's selling.
Look at this. He's got it down there. Look, he says, I took it off right as you put it up.
I'm always going to say
keep Bale beyond that. Bench Waddle and sell Ginola. Personal reasons.
Okay.
I think he just hates the French. I'm just playing with you, of course, Talking Beer.
Nita saying, excuse my spelling, it ain't great. Something I have to do with. Nita, no worries at all. We understand.
Yeah, you're all good, my friend.
We read it all out. Yeah, we understand. It's not a problem at all. And Eddie's saying he's got Sonny, Werner, Richie, Belize. Belize is injured, so we do need one more. Right, so we have a question. Right, and the question is, we've started, so where is the question?
Let me get these guys off here so you can see our beautiful mugs. There they are.
So Nita was saying, we were going to find a good striker, and if so, who would it be? Kane, please come back now. The striker, I'll tell you what, we get linked, and I'll take this first call. We get linked with so many people, defenders. We get linked with a truckload. We get linked with a truckload of midfielders. There is no doubt we're going to get linked with a truckload of strikers as well. I couldn't tell you who Tottenham are going to bring in because I don't know. And I think it will be one of those where it will be someone who you didn't think of in the first place. I think Tottenham are trying to do all their business, and everything they're trying to do it out of the glare and the spotlight of the public. Because once people start knowing that you're doing something, then the agents get involved, clubs get involved, and prices starts creeping up when it's Tottenham coming in. So therefore, yeah, we do our business privately and quietly as possible. But I couldn't tell you who we're going to try and bring in. What do you think?
Same. I mean, if Jose and I hadn't just had that conversation and we hadn't talked about Postecoglou and what he looks for in a striker for his system, I would say, I think I've seen Vlahovic in the comments of this video, people talking about Vlahovic. He would have been a good Kane replacement, I think, if you were looking for a Kane replacement. But I don't think that's the type of player that Ange is looking for. So I don't know. I think, like Jose said, I think Sonny is a really good striker in the system, for instance. It's tough. It's really tough. I wouldn't mind having, and I think this is what Valise was meant to be, but I wouldn't mind having like a plan B type of striker who we could put in if things weren't working, playing along the ground, like nice little passes along the floor. If we needed somebody to kind of lump it up to, I wouldn't mind having a player like that. Never bad to have a plan B, but I don't think that is the main type of striker we will be going for. So it'll probably be these weird hybrid winger forward type of players. This is just all I've got really to add to that. I thought you answered that pretty well, but that's all I wanted to add was just that, I don't see us going for an out and out striker.
All right, so you've got, following on Ellie's comment, it was Scarlett she meant, but he's injured out now too. David Clark says we get linked with a chain fence.
I like that. That's funny.
Scott M has made the show. Good evening, Scott. Nita, it's Tottenham. We won't bring in anyone of any quality. Ben is saying also Vlahovic type players want 300k a week. On the question that was asked, sorry, I've not even got to the question yet, but someone's already answering the question that I've started, but I've got to take the questions in order. So the next question that we've got is, did you heard about the FFP crackdowns? Yes. Right. There's two different things. You've got financial fair play, the old style financial fair play, and then you've got the financial fair play that's been brought in. So there's two separate ones that are being looked at. One that's being run by one organisation about FFP, and then you've got the Premiership that's doing a different one. And I think the Premiership's one is based around the last 3 years. They're not going back 12 years ago like
the Jermaine Defoe deal.
Yeah, and like other things with Man City and stuff like that. They're not going that far back. So there's two different separate bodies that are looking into FFP and bringing charges, as far as I'm aware. And I hope I've got this right. So at the moment, FFP, there was due to be a ruling, I think, on Monday of this week. I don't know whether they've put the dates back or whatever, but they were looking at teams like Everton and Nottingham Forest really closely for dealings they've done in the last 3 years. So, but FFP is something that they're looking at right throughout the Premiership. And yeah, rightly so. If there are rules there and you're going to go and break them, then rightly so, it should be looked at. So, yes, to answer your question, I was definitely aware of the crackdowns. But the thing is that the teams were also aware, because Levy, love him or loathe him, he spoke a year ago about the FFP crackdowns were going to be even tighter. So you couldn't go out spending willy-nilly. And he did mention this last year in some comments that he made. Well, let's see if we look now, to answer your question even further, talking a bit, if we're looking now at the signings and the movement in the transfer window at the moment, we can see that the transfer window at the moment is very limited to a lot of teams. A lot of teams can't just go out there and pay willy-nilly for a player here and there.
Hey, real quick, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So sorry, but there's some like wild shit going on in the comments. Guys, we can disagree, but we can't call each other little bitches. I love both of you guys, but god damn, just be fucking nice to each other. Shit. All right, that's it. Sorry to interrupt you, but Scott, that was inappropriate. Anyway, back to football stuff.
Right, so I haven't seen that, but right, so yeah, at the end of the day, teams around us are not teams in the whole of the Premiership, not going out and laying out money on players willy-nilly because they can't, because of these FFP rules. So yeah, it is what it is. And it looks like Levy wasn't lying. It looks like Levy wasn't lying to people too. Whenever he said that, we had to be careful with the money we spent. That FFP, was going to come back and kind of come back with a vengeance. So yeah, I think at the time everybody thought that was just another Levy excuse not to spend. But maybe not. So and then we've got another question. Sorry. Oh, good. Right, we've got Talking Beer saying top 3 players to have ever played for Tottenham. Might be tricky, but he has his. So the chat can take part in this. So Talking Beer is asking for the 3 top players that have ever played for Tottenham. That's tough. What are people's opinions on that? We've already got one person that already made an opinion on that, and that was David Clark. David Clark said John White, Dave Mackay, and Jimmy Greaves. And for those that don't know, obviously with the names that he's picked, people will know that David is an older supporter and has been supporting Tottenham longer than many other people who may not even recall or remember these names. So I'll be honest that I have a problem. Yeah, I'm kind of that. But that problem is kind of hitting me. I don't know all of the players you mentioned. John White, for instance, I guess is the one I don't know. What position did John White play? I don't know. Me neither. I'm Googling it right now. John White, Tottenham.
He played. Come on, Google. Don't do me like that. He was a footballer. He played.
He must have been a footballer.
Midfielder. International midfielder, and sometimes inside right. That's how you can tell it was a long time ago. Inside right. They don't even call anything that anymore. But yeah. So.
I'm surprised that two of the three I understand, but I'm surprised that David Clark hadn't put Mackay, Greaves, and Blanchflower in there.
John Anderson White, Scottish international. Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't heard of him. But big up. Now I have. This guy was struck by lightning and died. John White, or he was killed by a lightning strike at the age of 27 while sheltering under a tree during a thunderstorm at Cruise Hill Golf Course, Enfield, in July 1964. Wow.
Right, so not many people are answering this question. So, do you want to answer who your top three players to play for Tottenham ever that you've witnessed or seen or know of or whatever?
Yeah.
There's different talking beer. You're asking a question, but there's different generations of people that we've got, so they wouldn't have seen the different generations of players. So the three players that have been mentioned by David have not been seen by Connie.
I'm gonna say Bale, Kane, and Dembele are going to be my three. But there are so many that you can choose. It's tough. It's tough depending on what qualifiers you're putting on it, things like that. But those would be my three.
Okay.
What about you?
What about me?
What's your favorite color?
Right, I will go for the three best players that I've seen play for Tottenham. Probably Hoddle was one of them. I'm going to say Kane as well. You can't go against the all-time top goal scorer of the club. So I'm going to say Hoddle. I'm going to say Kane. Yeah, last one's tricky because there's so many players out there. Special mentions. I've got to mention Sheringham. Got to mention Berbatov. Got to mention Van der Vaart.
God, Berbatov is so silky.
I've got to mention Gascoigne as well. Gascoigne is absolutely brilliant. Chris Waddle. Thought for one season Clive Allen was just off the shelf. We had Archibald Crooks. We had so many players. Graham Roberts that I thought was a great player for us as well. But I think the third player is going to have to be Gareth Bale. I'm going to go with Hoddle, Bale, and Kane.
Yeah. It's you got like mostly attacking players in there, and I think most people would.
And you got Ledley King as well. There's a notable mention to loads of players, but he's asking me for three. So Skype says Bentancur is fine. Maddison only came because his wife only wanted London, and nobody else wanted him. Vicario, meh. The doggy will see. Cool isn't quality. Porro is good. Got lucky there. Everyone has opinions.
Yes, sir. And they're all entitled to them, for sure. We just got to be nice to each other about it.
And Talking Beer saying that they're damn looking into everyone for the financial fair play, which is something that we've said. David Clark says, if Harry Redknapp can get away with putting a bank account in his dog's name, Spurs have nothing to worry about.
Boom.
And Ricky's answering your comment from earlier when you said to him, he says, all good over here, geezer. How's you?
Good, man. Good. Lots changed in my life recently. I'm gonna hit you up on Twitter, hit you up on X, and moved into a new house. Got into a car accident the other day. I had to get a new car. We've been monetized on the channel. It's just stuff's changed a lot since you were last year, my man. But I'm really glad that you are here today. Super glad.
So I haven't got down to the bottom yet, but who asked the question? It was Talking Beer. Right, Talking Beer, you've asked the question, so you're going to have to give us an answer on your favourite three.
He did, yeah.
Oh, yes, okay, fair enough. I haven't got there yet. So you've got David Clark saying, that's not true. We could have spent 400 million and still be inside the ruling. Ben saying, the issue isn't spending. The issue is spending too much on that Dross. because they didn't invest in a recruitment team. Look at what happens when you do. And yes,
sure.
Right. So you've got Ellie's talking to me. Yes, like Kane, his loans didn't go to plan, but when Kane returned to Spurs and was given a chance by Tim Sherwood, and the rest is history. If Scarlett can get anywhere near Harry, that will be great. David Clark, Arsenal spent 700 million in 4 years and not come under scrutiny. Yeah, right, they have, David, but now Arsenal can't go and waylay money now because they waylaid money in the summer, so they can't go out and spend hatfuls of money now in the winter because they've to stay in financial fair play, they've done their spending, so to speak, and that's why people are looking for crafty deals, and a lot of people may be doing loan deals because they haven't got the money to spend. Julie says, I'm too new of a fan, but in my years it's Dembele, Modric and Kane. Not far from what you said, Colin.
Yeah, nope, not far at all.
Nita says, Jimmy Greaves, his goal tally never included penalties. I have been educated by old school.
Hell yeah.
Chris Peters is saying Hoddle, Roberts and Gaza.
Solid choices.
Ben is saying Luka Modric, the only Tottenham player to have won the Ballon d'Or. Talking Beer saying Maradona played like one game. David Clark is now telling me that his dad's favourite player was Danny Blanchflower. I can't see where Talking Beer's put his three players. Oh,
it's this one right here.
Donna, Kane and Bale. Right, okay. Yeah, he's cheated a bit. There, but Maradona did have a Tottenham Holston top on. Sky don't care about the past, so I will go with players I saw and what they did at Spurs, not other clubs. Bale and Son, and a guy who should be on everyone's list no matter what age, Harry Kane. Chris Peters' alternative list is Bentley, Garley, and Bent.
I love that one. There. That's clearly a joke. The Bentley.
And Scott, tough to leave off guys like Ericsson, Hugo, Ginola, Toby. Also, Modric, best player that was based on real time, not at Spurs. Ash is coming saying, "What did I miss? Are we rating midfielders?" No, Ash. What the question that was posed to us was, "Who are your three favourite or best midfielders that have played for Tottenham? Players that have played for Tottenham. So they don't have to be midfielders; they can be any position at all. So it's the three best players that you've seen play for Tottenham. Whilst you're looking for that, what's the next banner, Colin?
The next banner would be Reguilon to Brentford on loan.
Okay, so it was a question that we were asked. It was a question that someone put in the chat earlier, and we said that we had this already lined up. Where is it? I just need to see where I've put it. Right, so this is coming from L'Equipe via TalkBees, which is via Tottenham, and it's been put out there by Total Spurs saying Sergio Reguilon is expected to go on loan to Brentford, who are on the verge of reaching an agreement with Tottenham. So it looks like we've had to, if we look at all our transfer business this window, we've acted quickly. We're not waiting till the last day of the window to try and find these players outs on loans. We're doing it quickly. So if this is true, then it's another step in the right direction, Colin, for me. What do you think?
Agreed completely. If he's not part of plans, get him out there in the shop window. He's not going to be playing, it doesn't seem like, for Spurs at all in any capacity. And if that's the case, then let's get him to a team where he'll get minutes. He'll get some exposure. Maybe I don't know. Does say anything in there about clauses, like a buy clause if they reach a certain amount of?
No, they haven't said nothing. That's the tweet was done earlier when I sent it to you. So the tweet came out about 5 o'clock-ish, and that's why I said let's put a banner up, because the tweet came out about 5 o'clock. This was happening. I took the first tweet I saw, but it's been tweeted by other people as well. But to me, they're on the verge of reaching an agreement. Good luck to Reggie at Brentford. If we can offload him to Brentford, that'll be all well and good. They've got a good manager, and if the manager sees him as being a long-term prospect, then so be it.
Do you guys remember whenever we were worried about Real Madrid? I think it was Real. That's where we got him, right? We were worried about Madrid activating his buyback clause, and now we're getting ready to loan him out to Brentford. It's just like how far a player falls in you know what I mean, in such a short amount of time. But yeah, I think that'd be a good loan move for Brentford. I think it'd be good for Reguilon to get consistent game time, and maybe hopefully help us get him out the door and make room for somebody else in the squad. It'll be interesting to see if Sessegnon gets picked over him, and I'm sure he will.
He will. If they're sending him out, he's going to get picked, isn't he? So, sorry, just to go back, you've got Ben is saying, for me, it's Greaves, Hoddle, and Kane.
Good one.
And then we've got Ricky Villa TV saying John White was a winger. Your mum saying Reggie has to go, but I will hate playing against him. Do you know what, Julie? Let me tell you, if Brentford line up with him at left back, I would rate and fancy Brennan Johnson 10 out of 10 to leave him for dust and absolutely show him. He'll be saying, look at my rear, because that's all he'll be seeing. Because Brennan Johnson will absolutely have him cooked on toast, big time. So if he goes to Brentford, which it's unfortunate because he can't play against the parent club, because Brentford's our next game after Man United. We've got Brentford at home, because we started the season off with Brentford at home 2-2. Sorry, away 2-2. So our next game after Man U league game is away at home to Brentford. So unfortunately, Reggie won't be. If he's there, he won't be up against Johnson. It would have been an easy day for us if that was the case, I would think anyway. Ben saying Reggie was a decent under Mourinho, but his party boy antics are not acceptable for a professional athlete.
I had no idea about party boy antics. See, I'm learning new stuff. I'm learning new stuff every day.
And then you've got David Clark saying John White wasn't a winger. He was an inside forward and a playmaker, never a winger. I actually saw him play live. Ash 3's three best players that she's seen is Kane, Greaves, and Hoddle, and she says they were all generational talents. Tottenham mum saying fun conversations today, but now I have to run off. Big up to all in the chat. Bye, Julie. Take care, darling.
Big up, Ma. See you soon. Drive safe if that's where you're heading. She's coming to visit me.
And then you've got later Jules from Ricky. How far is it for your mum to get you? How long? An hour?
Yeah, about an hour. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. It's good that she's coming to see you, mate.
Yeah, just enough distance so we're not getting on each other's nerves, but then we can visit pretty easily.
Yeah. Nita's saying Gaza Bal Hoddle. Bal made me pee my knickers with his goals. Gaza made me dribble and cry, and Hoddle was just crisp in our midfield.
Boom.
David Clark, except if Reggie is on loan, he can't play against us, which is what I said. He won't be able to play against us anyway. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter. And we've got them in like 10 days' time or whatever. Graham Rutter, good evening, Graham. Nice to see you here.
Graham, what's up, man?
Dave Mackay was Spurs' greatest player. If Clough hadn't signed him, we may not have heard of Clough. So he's saying that Mackay made Clough. Ashby saying, although I don't like the way Hoddle was shown in the Beckham documentary, so it's purely on footballing skills. So she's picking Hoddle just on his skills, and that's what we're looking at. Ricky Villa TV saying Gary Mabbott, and Gary Mabbott.
Love it.
I suppose he might have Gary Mabbott. And Ben
saying, the legal party during COVID. Okay.
Yeah. So you've got that one. So what's the next topic?
Our next topic is going to be, so we've got a loan away from Spurs, and now there's some news maybe about a potential loan signing coming to Spurs. And that'd be Calvin Phillips loan to Spurs. Is it on the cards?
Well, it says Justin, and this came out about 5 issues again, and it was reported on Last Word on Spurs, and it's been reported on a lot of other different twits as well, accounts, that Tottenham Hotspur are eyeing a $6 million loan deal for Calvin Phillips. Phillips has struggled to settle at the Etihad Stadium since his £45 million move from Leeds United in July 2022. The England international has made 31 appearances for City across all competitions during his time in Manchester, scoring 1 goal. Phillips has struggled for game time again in 23-24 campaign with just 10 appearances and just 318 minutes of football played this season. Right. The only thing that concerns me about 6 million deal is if you break down that 6 million to the amount of games we've got left in the season, bearing in mind that tomorrow we're playing, so that's 18 games if you don't include cup games, that would mean that he's getting paid £330,000 per game.
Yikes.
I don't see us spending 330 grand, because I suppose a 6 million is a fee and that you'll be picking up like all these wages. So if that deal was to happen, I don't think if that deal was to happen, I'm not sure whether with 6 million is worth spending. That's a lot of money. Although
I'd be interested.
Although I will say, can I be honest? I will say that I do prefer Calvin Phillips to Gallagher, right?
Yeah.
Because for me, Calvin Phillips can play the 6 role comfortably. And I mean comfortably. So therefore, you've got cover for that 6 role. So if you take someone off in that 6 role, Calvin Phillips is not a downgrade. If you start with Calvin Phillips and you swap in, you sub in, it's not a downgrade. So for me, I would like to see. I like the idea of Calvin Phillips. I think 6s is what we like. We've got 8s at the club. Mm-hmm. Although I will say as well, towards the latter part of Phillips did play an 8 for Leeds, and at Manchester City, when he gets his chances to play, he plays as an 8, not a 6. So therefore, you got multifunction. We can play 6 and 8. For me, I prefer Calvin Phillips to Gallagher, mate. So sorry.
I do too, 100%. No, I was just going to say, well, I, for one, completely agree with you on that. I think that he's much more – I think that you could smash Gallagher into that defensive midfield role if you had to, but that's absolutely not where he plays, and that's not where he played best. Calvin Phillips would be an awesome upgrade on Skip, for example. And then I was just going to say, if there is, in fact, a loan fee for the Reguilon deal, maybe that would offset this loan fee. You know what I mean? For Calvin Phillips some. So I mean, like, maybe if we could get some money from Brentford, I don't know if they have any money, but if we could get some money from Brentford for, you know what I mean, for Reguilon, then maybe we could put that towards this Calvin Phillips deal, and maybe it's a little more likely that way. I don't know.
I don't know what Phillips is on at Man City, and I don't know what Reguilon's on at Tottenham. I've not looked it up, so I wouldn't know. So, but I understand what you're saying, though. Yeah.
So there's a chance. I would like to see Calvin Phillips here. I'm surprised whenever you kind of talked about the fee he went for to Man City. I was surprised it was so low.
What 45 million?
Yeah, I would have thought he would have gone for more, but
Man City don't overpay on players.
It's true. They really don't. Players, they must have enough pull or something, because players know they're going to win.
No, what it is that people know with Man City ain't going to pay over the odds. So if you start asking for daft money, they'll just walk away. They're not going to entertain going into battles and stuff for players. Man City they've got an idea in their head how much a player's value is worth to them, and if the team doesn't agree to sign at a price, they just walk away. They walked away from the Rice deal. They said, we think he's worth this. If you want to go, we're not going to go in a bid anymore. And then all of a sudden, the agent from Phillips maintained he wouldn't accept anything less than 105, and Arsenal paid it. They walk away. They don't care. You know, if they don't think the player's worth their money, they'll walk away. They won't start saying, we'll haggle with you, try and do this, we'll try and do that. No, if you're asking for silly money, we ain't paying it, we'll walk away. And that's the difference. Man City will walk away.
Boom.
So
maybe we can take a page out of that book.
Ben saying, if there's a chance of us winning the title, Pep will not loan us Phillips. I would love Calvin Phillips. It's what Ben's saying. Ash is saying, the deal makes financial sense, but I feel like he won't be match fit and we need someone to come in immediately. David Clark having worked on major construction sites for 50 years, my analogy of Calvin Phillips is that he's a hod carrier and not a bricklayer. Do you know what a hod carrier is?
No, but I can imagine.
Do you know what a bricklayer is?
Yeah.
Okay, so the hod carrier is like the bricklayer's mate, and he carries a trowel and he carries all the bricks to the bricklayer.
There you go.
That's what a hod carrier is.
Gotcha.
Ben saying that Gallagher's a long-haired Ollie Skip. Phillips is a footballer. Talking Beer says, I'd love to see Phillips, especially over Gallagher. I don't know whether either will happen. You got Phillips over Gallagher from Ash P. Graham's come in and said, Phillips is not an Ange player. You've got Calvin Phillips saying, Calvin Phillips is so overrated, he has lived off that England goal for far too long. Ash is saying, what's she saying? It's
48K.
48K a week for Reggie, and it's 150K a week for Calvin.
Christ, yeah, those don't really offset each other very much, do they? No.
And then Talking Beer is talking to David. And David's saying Phillips is not an upgrade on any of the Spurs midfielders, even on Skip. He's just a slower version. David, we all have opinions. Yeah. But if I was to go democratically through what I've seen so far in the chat, the majority of the opinions are that Phillips would be a good signing and would be a better signing than Gallagher. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. So, yeah, but we're all entitled to opinions. Right, Mr. Colin, how many more banners we got left?
We got one more banner. Well,
Okay.
I mean,
give us the last banner then. And
absolutely.
And then we'll do our keep the bench and sell.
We're going from one Phillips to another. So we've got Calvin Phillips, obviously we've been talking about, and then we've got our very own Ashley Phillips, who got some high praise from Alan McInally for his debut match today. So yeah, just one of the.
So I'll explain it because obviously it's me that told you all about it. So on Sky Sports, they go around the grounds. Obviously, they were out doing around the grounds, and Alan McInally covered the Huddersfield Plymouth game, and it was in like the 80th minute or something. They've gone to him, and he's turned around. He's talking about the game and stuff like that. And he turned around and he said, Merce, you're in the studio. So he was talking to Paul Merson, and he said, Merce, you're in the studio. Do you remember 20 years ago when we were watching games and I turned around and said, that Trippier is going to be a really good player? He goes, I found another one. His name's Ashley Phillips. He's 18 years old. He plays centre half and he's come on loan from Tottenham. He is going to be absolutely brilliant. So that was the praise that was given out.
Yeah, I love it. And we all know Trippier became a wonderful footballer. Maybe not had maybe reached the heights that we'd wanted them to at Spurs, but clearly there were some injury things going on in the background there. There was some backroom stuff, but yeah, turned out to be quite an accomplished footballer. And if Phillips becomes anywhere near that good, I think we're in for a treat.
He's 18, isn't he, Phillips?
Yeah.
So therefore, let him. He's only dropped down one division. He hasn't dropped down two. He's only dropped down one division. So he's gone back to the division where he came from. And he only went this week, and he was in the starting lineup today. I will say that it looks like he played in the back three, and he got a yellow card. So to get the praising that he did, he must be composed because he had a yellow card in the game as well. By the time I looked to see the lineups, he'd already had a yellow card. So,
wow, putting himself about a bit at least. So that's good. Real quick, Sam Arth is in the house. What's up, Sam Arth? Says Talking Beer agreed. Calvin over Rodri makes no sense. But I just wanted to say big up. Hadn't seen your name in the chat yet. So thank you, sir, for being here, sir and or madam. We appreciate it. But yeah, we've all been talking about.
So the other thing I was going to say, just so people are aware, Tottenham under 18s and Tottenham under 23s both won their respective games on Friday. I think they played Friday and Thursday or whatever. They both won their respective games. Tottenham beat Villa 3-2, the under 18s, and the under 23s ended up beating Southampton yesterday away 3-2. And Lancashire got 2 of the goals. And I will say, when I watch the highlights, and I'm probably doing it a disservice, when I watch the highlights of the game, Dorrington, watching the highlights of the game, I didn't see much from him at all. So it's interesting. I didn't see much in the highlights. And it's probably because they're only highlights. But I didn't see much in the highlights from Dorrington. But then we hear the praise from McInally today for Ashley Phillips.
Love it. I love that, though. If anybody sees, I mean, we've been talking about how we want another defender in, this January. May or may not happen, but it's good to know that we've got 2 players that are just about first team ready on the books, just waiting to make their jump up and get their shot. So that is a good thing. And it makes me feel a little bit better if we don't bring in that other defender that I'm hoping for this January. Yeah, I think out of what we've got, I also wanted to let everyone know, please, gang, hit the likes if you're here. If you've made it all the way here, go ahead and smash that like button. We'd really appreciate that. I don't know why everyone says smash.
And also to remind the channel that to remind everyone that we now have memberships, and the membership link is pinned to the channel if you would like to become a member.
Yes.
Right. So what we've got is we've got a second keep bench and West Ham, and then what we're going to do, we're going to round up, have a chat with closing comments, and then we're going to wrap the show up because Colin has a visitor. He has his lovely mum visiting him. So we didn't want to do a really long one today, so it was just to get one out there to say hello to everyone.
Absolutely.
So if you can, Maestro, if you can go to the introduction with that famous actor.
And away we go. And I decided to just throw this one straight up. This is another one that I won't tell you who made it, actually. Never mind. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
It's actually obvious who's made it.
But it's Jermaine Defoe, Robbie Keane, and Roman Pavlyuchenko. It's some great strikers who have played for Spurs. And yeah, you got to keep one, bench one, and sell one to West Ham. It's not easy for me, but maybe it will be easy for some of you guys. I'll go ahead and cut it back to us.
No. Yeah. Put it back up. Put it back up. I just want to see again. I like looking at the old kits. The Olazama, Pavlyuchenko's kit. I remember. Yeah, and I remember the Manchin kit as well. Right. So you got three strikers. It's interesting because they didn't all play together. I don't think. I think it was 2 and 2 in the sense that 2 were in the squad at the same time and another 2 were in the same squad at the same time. Because around this era and around these times, you had Darren Bent, you had Berbatov, Crouch. We had a whole host during a 6 to 8 year period. We had a whole host of strikers, and in fact, we were quite blessed back then because we had like 4 strikers to choose from, and that's when we used to play 4-4-2, and we used to have 2 strikers, so 2 would start and we'd have 2 on the bench in reserve. So this one, it might be easier for people. It'd be interesting to see what people have got to say, but it's Defoe, Keane, Pavlyuchenko. So what I'll do is, some people started putting in the chat, but don't look, Colin, because you're answering first, mate. Do you remember?
Oh man,
do you remember all 3?
I do remember all 3. Yeah, I do. Tough though. Yeah, I remember all 3, but the player I saw the least of was Pavlyuchenko. So that makes it pretty likely to me that he's the one going to West Ham, unfortunately. Who
are you keeping and who's?
I'd say I'm going to keep.
Who are you putting on the bench?
I'm gonna put Jermaine Defoe on the bench.
Okay.
Robbie Keane to start. He's my keep, and then we'll sell Pavlyuchenko.
Okay. So can I just ask you then, Colin, because I'm interested. I'm intrigued. So you're keeping Keane. So he's your starter. You're benching. So you're keeping Defoe on the bench as a sub, and then you're selling Pavlyuchenko to West Ham. Right.
Yes.
How are you basing your opinion? I just want to understand your answer. How are you basing your opinion?
Of course. I think Defoe is like the perfect super sub. I think that he would be good if you really needed to go and grab a goal. I think that he's got a lot of energy off the bench. He definitely isn't afraid to have a slap at the ball. He will have a slap towards goal. He's got quite the shot on him. If I could start them both together, I would. But no, I just think that Robbie Keane had a lot of energy, could kind of, run people tired, and then we could throw Defoe on, against some tired legs and hopefully nab a goal or two. And like I said, we all know that he'd get about 30 shots off in half a game, just because that's the kind of guy Defoe was, especially during his second spell with us. But yeah, that's it. And then honestly, just not having seen enough Pavlyuchenko I knew that he blew pretty hot and cold. And so that's part of the reason why I decided to sell him as well.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So some of the people in the chat have commented. Let me have a look. Let me go back up because I'm going to explain mine as well. So at the moment, Dave Clark has gone, keep Keane, bench Defoe, sell Pav. That's exactly the same way that Ash P has gone. Chris Peters says Keane was consistent, although he wanted out when he was Mr. Tottenham Hotspur and had a bad time at Liverpool. Ash P is saying that, as per usual, West Ham has some amazing strikers now. So every player that we sent to West Ham is actually making them a much, much better team. Is what Ash is saying in her eyes. Chris Peters is saying Defoe would be brilliant underage. Ricky Vila TV is amused by Dave from Leicester, and he says he's amused by reading his comments. And David Clark is saying Spurs sacked Robbie Keane for organising a Christmas piss up in Ireland against the orders of Harry Redknapp, and he was fired. Nita is keeping Defoe.
Boom.
Right, Defoe keep, Kane keep, full stop for me. Pav, Keane. So Defoe keep, Keane keep. You can't keep one of them's got to be benched. I understand. And Pav, full stop for me. Pav on the bench. I am out again, being a sports ball. So she's saying she would keep two and bench one of them, but send none to West Ham. Is what Nita's saying.
Nita breaking the rules. It's okay.
So for me, I'm going to base my answer on the way that we play football at the moment, right? And so for me, the role, the sacrificial lamb role that's played under Ange's system, I think both Defoe and Pavlyuchenko could play that role. More so than Robbie Keane. If I was going to have someone with a sacrificial lamb, Defoe and Pavlyuchenko. Pavlyuchenko had the work rate and that, and the closing down and that. Defoe had that because Defoe was rapid. Keane was more cultured, wasn't he? Keane was more a 10. For me, Keane was the second striker. He wasn't the main striker. Keane was. I always referred to Keane. Berbatov was the main striker. Keane fed off Berbatov type thing. Do you know what I mean? But we don't play that way at the moment. So I would have to keep. For me, it'd have to be either Pav or Defoe. And for his goal scoring exploits, I would probably end up keeping Defoe, benching Pav, and I'd send Keane to West Ham.
Dang, but that, like you said, is just with this system in mind.
Yeah, rather than thinking of it of who my favourite was and style of play and what they did, because Pavlyuchenko was an out-and-out number 9. Yeah, there's no getting about it. He's an out-and-out number 9. Target man, an out-and-out number 9. Jermaine Defoe was rapid. He was a fox in the box, and absolutely rapid. He had a shot on him when he needed to, but he'd get tap-ins. He'd score all sorts of goals. And he was always on the end of things. And Keane was cultured, weren't he? Keane was absolutely supreme. Keane was cultured. But to me, he was more a 10 than a 9, if I can say that, because I thought that he fed off Berbatov. But listen, all three great servants to the club for me. But as I said, everything's about opinions, Colin. So that's just an opinion that I'm forming on, and I'm giving him my reasoning why I'm forming that opinion. Which some people in the chat don't get that luxury, because you can only type 250 words a minute, 250 words per chat. So it's easier for us to talk about than comment about, so to speak. Nita is reminding you, Colin, that rules are made to be broken if you ain't hurting anyone.
I love it. I agree completely. Where's she said that at? Where's Nita said that at?
She said it's the third one from the bottom.
Yes, exactly.
And then Ricky Vida TV saying Dorrington played well. Watched the match on Spurs play. The Saints were lively, and he did well.
Sweet. Yeah, I've heard the Dorrington's the better of the two, surprisingly, but I don't have any. I can't say that with any great. Basically, I haven't watched enough of either of them, but yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that Dorrington played well. I'm excited that we could have. Sorry,
David Clark saying Keane had more creativity than Kulu has today. His vision was exceptional on goals to match. Played different systems, David. Different systems.
I was gonna say. Do you think that you said that Keane was almost more of that number 10? Do you think that he could play a 10? Like if you actually had him to be like the James Maddison or the Christian Eriksen of the team, do you think he could have pulled it off?
Yeah.
Nice. I remember one pass where he kind of like lifts the ball up and over some people. I mean, he did have a nice passing range on him. Always had his head up, could always see where his where the other players were. So yeah, that is something, But yeah, Keane had more creativity than Kulu has today.
Yeah,
his vision was exceptional and goals to match. I say, have we got any other?
No, that was the keep bench and sells that we had, and I think we've done the banners. So basically, we might as well just wrap it up with tomorrow's game.
Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow, guys, you are, I'm sure, aware of who we're playing. We're playing Manchester United. I don't know, Jose, are you afraid? You afraid at all of what we're to face? Are you feeling confident? Let me get these guys off here so we can see. Yeah,
I've just done that. I've just got them off. Right. So, am I confident tomorrow? Yes, I am confident.
Love it.
I think the reason why I'm confident is I feel the team will be more confident. Listen, I'm not going to start throwing pelters at the players that have played for us, because the players that have played for us have done the job. But I think that the team would feel more confident with our centre backs returning, if that makes sense. And I'm not throwing pelters at Defoe and Emma Goat, because I think they've done well. But you're playing a different ball game when you've got Mickey van der Ven, Romero, and/or Dragusin there at the back. They offer something totally different, and they're more naturally centre backs than the two that we had covering. But the two that we had covering done a sterling job for us. I'm not going to hammer them. They've done a good job for us, but it's now time to get our first teamers back in. And I think that if you've got your first choice defence there, and you can play the system better that Ange wants because of them defenders being there, I think it then gives the team a boost and lift, and they've got a reliability that they can rely on, if that makes sense. So so tomorrow, listen, I'm not going to hide. It's not only tomorrow, Colin. I look forward to watching Tottenham every game they play. I don't hide and think, oh my god, I
think we could beat anybody, and even when that's diluted of me. Even in seasons past, we haven't been as good. I'm the same way. I love looking. I love looking forward to matches and seeing how Spurs fare against anybody and everybody.
Because at the end of the day, it's a battle of wills, isn't it? And the battle of wills are not from the players. The battle of wills are from the managers. So Ten Hag's going to set up Man United the way that he sees that the game's going to be won for Man U. And Postecoglou will set up the team how he sees fit to try and win the game, or to win the game for Tottenham. So it's a battle of wills. And then all you're doing is you're putting your pawns out there, who are the players, to execute what your plans are. So, yeah, it was... I'm looking forward to the game. But it's not just tomorrow. And like I said, I look forward to every game that we play under this manager, because I don't hide behind the sofa anymore with my hands over my eyes, swearing profusely and sweating, thinking, oh my god. I don't do that. I don't do that since Postecoglou came, because we're playing a type of football that's attractive. You can see what we're trying to do, and yeah, it's just it'll be amazing. It'll be amazing.
Absolutely, and you're 100% right. As to borrow a term from you guys on that side of the pond, not nearly as much squeaky bum time as there were in seasons past, and also just the fact that we know that we can score at any time. I mean, it could be 90 seconds left of extra time, and I'm still like, we're gonna get it. We're gonna tie this up. We're gonna get the winning goal. And I think that's something else. You mentioned the defenders coming back and how that's going to make everybody feel better and a little more secure. I think that'll give our attackers even more license to get up, you know what I mean, attack, because we've got the blanket coming back. We're gonna have the blanket back, and I think that's I think that's very important. I think they're all going to know that. That's going to be in everybody's mind. Hey, if I mess something up, if we lose the ball here, Van de Ven's back there. He's going to catch whoever that is. Feeling good, feeling happy. Really excited. Chang said this in one of our group chats. Chang, as you guys know, is on Spurswasion TV with Eugene. Check out that channel, Spurswasion TV, if you haven't. But Chang was saying in one of our group chats today, he's more excited to see the starting 11, the team sheet, than he has been for a long time, and that's so true because we don't know who we're going to see. I mean, it's been a mystery for about half the season, to be honest, just with the injuries and the suspensions and stuff. But I think we're in for a treat tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe so as well. You've got Samar says, as a Man United fan, our forwards are dead until and unless you give us a chance. We'll have to wait and see. Samar, see what happens tomorrow. David Clark is still talking about Keane with the ball and Defoe with his goals. Ash is saying, I'm going to watch the match with 300 other people. The United supporters are hosting 100 Spurs fans away at their bar. Pray we make it out in one piece. So you're going to watch. So when you say with 300 other people, are you saying there's going to be 200 Man United fans and 100 Tottenham fans in a Man United bar, or is there 300 Man United and 100 Tottenham? What's the split, Ash? What's the split? And then she said she hopes she makes it. And then she said she hopes she makes it out alive.
It sounds like it's going to be 200 United, 100. But I could be wrong there. If that's a monstrous bar, Jesus, I haven't. That'd be a crazy big bar.
David Clark says he's worried only if Cooley's out. Then we have to rely on Skip and Højbjerg in the midfield 3 position. Then it's a difficult game for us. If Cooley plays, I see us winning 3-1. Ricky Villa TV says Keane was great. We had so many good strikers in that period. Canute, Defoe, Berbatov, Mido. We knew we were going to score. We just needed to know if the defenders were going to stop it. Samarth is telling us that Lisandro is coming back with Casemiro, I think, could help Man United massively at defensive side. Guys, prepare for the FFP storm on Monday. I said this already. I said with FFP, they were going to make announcements on Monday, 15th of January. They said this about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Said that D-Day or the Judgment Day would have been then. But the 2 teams, I mean, I have to look into it a bit more, but at the time they were saying the 2 teams that were most wary for FFP for the last 3 seasons were going to be Forest and Everton, but that might have grown bigger. Nita's saying, yes, Jose, my cousin is behaving and it's making me happy. Coys, TTWD. Fantastic.
Until we die, baby.
Yes. Ash P saying to Samarth, I'll have a great defensive boost. Don't know if they'll start though. Ash P saying, yes, 200 United fans and 100 Tottenham. Where is that? Is that in Mumbai, Ash? We're asking Ash, and because Ash is our questions. Right. For Samarth, all I'm going to say is that I've heard that you've got it's 3 of them that are coming that are available tomorrow. I think it was Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, and Luke Shaw. I think are the 3 that were coming back tomorrow for Man United. The only thing that I will say, and it's the same for us as well, is I'm not sure on because they're coming back from injuries or layoffs, how fit they're going to be. But the same could be said about us because we've got Romero coming back, Van de Ven coming back. We've also got Dragason's been playing, so we've got a couple of defenders coming back as well. But the rest of our players are not coming back from injury in other positions, I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Cosmic Sean's here saying hello to big up everyone.
Big up, brother. Big up, man.
Mr. M, good evening. Mr. M is coming in with a Werner hat trick.
That would be so lovely. God, I would love that more than anything.
Ash P is confirming that she'll be watching the game in Mumbai. And then we have Daniel Horton saying hello from Fairbanks, Coys. Good evening, Daniel. Good evening. How are you, sir?
Alaska. Cool.
And then we've got We Love Spurs. Who's in goal for Man United? Onana. Onana apparently has struck a deal. They struck a deal where he plays tomorrow's game and then immediately flies to the AFCON. And am I right in saying that they play the following day?
That I don't know.
I think he's Cameroonian, and I think they might be playing the following day, or he gets there. Or when he gets there, they play the day after or something. So I'm not sure. So Onana will be there.
First match on Monday, January 15th.
So they play on Monday the 15th.
Yeah, Cameroon against Guinea.
So Stay Humble's joined us and saying that I'm happy Onana's starting. So yeah, so basically Onana is playing tomorrow and then flies out to the AFCON. Yeah.
Wow.
And then they play the following day, which is what I thought. I thought I saw something like that.
Yeah, good thing he's a keeper. I mean, any other position, there'd be some worry there, but I think keepers should be able to play damn near every day, you know. But yeah.
And the predictions, I've got everybody's predictions for the scores tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I've got everyone's predictions for Everton Villa because that's the first game, and then Man United Tottenham. I will say with this week, with the predictions that everyone's done, I've got quite a few people that have given me all 10 predictions. So for this week and next week, because that's the game week is split into 2 weeks. Yeah. But I've only done 5.
I only gave you 5, I think.
No, you didn't. You gave me all 10.
It was at like 3 a.m, so I'm sorry. But
yeah,
yes.
You've given them all. So I've only predicted up to Man United Tottenham, and then I'll predict the rest of mine next week.
Once you see things, yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's happened? Who's injured? Who's returning from injury?
Daniel Horton says yes. Onana playing 2 games within 24 hours, and
nice.
We I suppose Romero's still injured. No, Romero's back. Romero's back from injury. He's available for tomorrow. I'm not saying I don't know whether he starts or not, but he's available for tomorrow. Stay Humble saying because he is a clown and always got a mistake in him. Difficult game for Villa, I think. And then Mr. M says Everton relegation, Aston Villa 1. Right, guys, it's about that time. We've come to the end of the show. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We will say again that our membership link is pinned to the chat if anyone decides to become or would like to become a member of the show.
Join La Familia, as we're calling it.
We've loved having you all. It's been brilliant. Thank you very much. You've made our day and you make our show by coming into the chat. Our next show is on Monday. I don't think, unless we come on tomorrow after the Man United game, which we've not made plans yet, but we may or may not do. Our next scheduled show is on Monday morning at 11 a.m. GMT, where it will be Ash presenting the show, and she has a guest lined up who we're keeping under wraps until the show begins on Monday morning. And then after that, on Monday, you'll get our usual show at 4 o'clock.
Absolutely.
So, if you hit the notification bell, you'll see when we're next on. But the next scheduled show is Monday, 11 in the morning GMT, and it will be Ash.
And maybe a surprise show tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, tomorrow we'll have it. We've got a decision to make it after the Tottenham game. And if we do come on, we'll obviously let you guys know before we're coming on. And we'd love you to join us, both Tottenham and Man United fans. Both welcome, either way.
100%, absolutely.
And supporters that support other clubs as well. We don't mind who comes in, as long as everyone's respectful to each other. We entertain and have everyone here.
Yep, 100%.
You've got La Familia coming in from Cosmic Sean.
Yes.
Mr. M says I'm missing it because I've got to watch Loose Women. Sorry. Have a good evening, everyone, and come on, you Spurs. And Nita saying I can't wait to see Andy's plans for our boys tomorrow. We got to have faith. Andy's here, Coys, and Nita saying thanks all, great show. And Samathi speaking to us. So listen, right, we've got to go. It's been lovely having you all. Thank you very much. If you kindly could, if you haven't hit the like already, hit it on the way out. And
boom.
Come on, you Spurs, and in Ange we trust.
In Ange we trust. And we'll play out with our usual song that we play out with every time. And we will continue to until he is back in the first team, and maybe even longer than that. But everybody, thanks. I'm stealing Jose's words. In Ange we trust. And let's go out and batter United tomorrow. Come on.
My team has got James Maddison. James Maddison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Maddison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.